and a nice incontinence advert for women as well. They've got it all here on this website here at aondavamos.pt. I'll put that into the chat for you. Yes, we are going to have to look at the law. The Portuguese's first response to it, I think, fairly favourable. And the point he was making about this, there you go, aondavamos.pt there for you. Yeah, let's go back to the Portugal Club there, where there's a little bit of reporting and links to that, what was going on around the foreigners' law yesterday and the connections to it in the English press here, or the English language press. Foreigners' law then approved in Parliament. Yep, we're back here. Join us in the morning to discuss. That's exactly what we're doing now, which you should be able to see on your screen. And I'll do my best to update you on this right now. Let's go first of all to the Portugal Resident. And I'll swap over screens so you can see what I'm looking at as well this morning with this. If you've got any comments, if you've been doing any research on this, do let me know. Let me know what you're thinking about it. Let me know in the comments. And if you don't, that's ignorant, as the Portuguese might say. Foreigners' law approved in Parliament by parties of the right. Left-wingers all vote against the law, now to go for President's rubber stamp. Do you know what? He probably literally does have a rubber stamp, this being Portugal. There was some lobbying and protests in the capital, of course, and you can see a picture there of immigrants demonstrating in Lisbon on September the 17th. It was quite a raucous gathering, I have to say, seeing footage of that on X. The hotly contested foreigners' law has been approved for the second time in Parliament, again by parties of the right, with votes against by political groupings of the left. This time, the feeling is that the new measures will satisfy, with some bunny ears, reservations voiced by President Marcelo for the first time round, and upheld by the majority of judges of the Constitutional Court. For immigrants still queuing in large numbers for all kinds of documentation outside IMA, the Agency for Integration, Migrations and Asylum, this new law will stand as another impediment to sorting out their lives in the way they had been led to believe would be possible in Portugal. That's the beef of many people still waiting for I's to be dotted, T's to be crossed, and so on. And then the context, the background, is that the law itself is changing, whilst people are still trying to engage with laws that had been made many years ago. The new watered down... Oh, hold on a minute. Missed a paragraph here. This was the starting point of this legislation, the lack of controls over immigration, and the truly startling numbers of people who have been arriving from all corners of the less affluent world, reporting here by, I think this would be a Natasha Don story, possibly here. Trying to find out. Anyway, no, can't see who penned this one. But yes, we have had people arriving from all corners of the less affluent world, as is written here, and refusing to leave, even when they have no work. This new watered-down version of the original diploma reduces timescales for family reunification, but insists on certain provisos. The immigrant living legally in Portugal and requesting that his family join him must be able to prove that he lived as a couple with the woman he says is his wife for a full year. And I think I was going to say gender reorientation, you know what I mean, and vice versa, immediately before entry into Portuguese national territory. If he can do this, the family reunification can take place within under 2 years. And if the immigrant can prove that his female partner is looking after a disabled child, the family reunification can take place immediately. There is no need for any delay. The diploma also requires that any marriage claimed by an immigrant is legal and unforced. Well, that's going to be a whole load of paperwork, isn't it? And more delays. There can be no marriages with minors. Well, that's fair enough. Or polygamy. Says the document. So if you were thinking about bringing in your 27 wives because you're part of a special cult and you were looking at a family reunification route for that, I'm sorry, the computer says no. Immigrants living legally in Portugal and applying for family reunification will have to prove that they have suitable accommodation guaranteed. These seem like fair enough measures, do they not? And means of subsistence sufficient to keep all members of the family group without resorting to social benefits. Regarding social benefits, Chega had insisted that it would only vote in favour of the law if immigrants were prevented from claiming benefits for 5 years post-legislation. This has not been written into the law, but the government has agreed to present a separate law in due course focused on the access of immigrants to social benefits. Discussing the approval at a lunch meeting in Lisbon. Of course, it was a lunch meeting. Fantastic. That's how we roll here. Prime Minister Luis Montenegro said his executive had spoken with all parties ahead of today's vote and included a number of suggestions by both main parties in opposition, Chega and PS Socialist proposals that the PM acknowledged are positive. It now remains to be seen if and when President Marcelo formally promulgates the new diploma. Sources there, yeah, that was Natasha Don. Sources there, Lusa and Sick. And it looks like President Marcelo will be ready with his promulgating rubber stamp. He does like a little bit of promulgation if he believes the proposals are in line with the constitution. So that's the residents' view on that. Let's just see what the Portugal News had to say as well on this matter. Links to this, I'll put the Portugal Club link in to make it easier for you on the screen. Portugal News, then we'll take a look at that as well after I swap this over and share it with you so you can see what I'm looking at on the screen too. And the no thanks to your regular updates right there. And yeah, the link to it. And also, if you want to leave a comment, it'd be good. We can keep the discussion going. Anything else that comes out in the next few days, I'll add to that thread over there at the Portugal Club. That's the link for it. Gemini, good morning to you. Good to see you. Who is Juice Ian 100? He's listed as a top chatter, but has not posted. That's the coach, Coach Ian Turner. Good morning, everyone, from Gemini as well. Adrian, not a single non-Portuguese name or non-white face on the local Socialist Party Livre Pan Alliance Freguesia or Câmara list here in the União de Freguesia de Eiras e São Paulo de Frade Coimbra. Is that representative of the local population? I wonder there, Adrian. And to the coach, my grandfather has had two amazing plum trees when I was a kid. Never been able to find any so good until we moved to Portugal. The plums here are the best. Yes. And get well soon, Peter. New version. Hoping your plums are in good condition as well. ASAP, Peter. What are these adverts? When I'm reading something from the internet here on a news source, it's worth watching what adverts come up, honestly. They say it's based on your search history. I don't think I would have been searching for any of these things. I have no memory of looking at these things. And I'm hastily trying to get rid of this. Not because I'm embarrassed about my choices. Well, not yet anyway. But they're getting in the way here. The Assembly of the Republic has approved today, this was yesterday, the new version of the Foreigners' Law with votes in favour from the PSD. Sorry, quick cough there. CDS-PP, the CDS-PP. Now, if I was a fellow politician and my political opponents were called the CDS-PP, I would be laughing about that, but that's because I'm immature. Chega, and probably not the sort of... oh, no, there's another one here. There's the Chega, the Initiativa Liberal, IL, and JPP as well. There's two PPs in Parliament and votes against from the PS, the Livre, the PCP, the BE, and the PAN Party, People, Animals, and Nature. Oh, here's an advert. Toxic person inside you. Well, I don't like that for breakfast. The new version of the decree approving the legal framework for the entry, stay, departure and removal of foreigners from the national territory, which had been rejected by the Constitutional Court last August, was approved in a final overall vote after all amendments proposed by the parties were voted on in detail. So I think we get the gist of this. The right-leaning were voting for, left-leaning against, and pretty much... just a little bit of tinkering to make it more palatable for the president, really, I would say. In the proposal by Andre Ventura's party, Chega, of course, approved today in its special edition, the residence permit for family reunification is extended to 15 months. In other words, longer than the 12 months proposed by PSD and CDS, but now it requires the spouse to have lived with the applicant for family reunification for 18 months. The government coalition had proposed 1 year. So a little bit of horse trading, but it looks like that's going up to the president, and his promulgating rubber stamp is hovering as we speak. I don't think... Oh, and there are no blistering comments. Oh, I think I can get rid of the ad. Yes, just by pressing that button. If you do want to make a blistering comment, which is the way, I have to say, at the Portugal News. Haven't seen any hilarious messages or comments there for a while, but they are great once they get going over there. And this is the sort of story that will inspire such commenting. The happiest place, this has caught my eye, the happiest place in the world for tourists is, we need to go here and have a look at this. But I think after maybe we've played another tune. What else did we have